My name's Robin Creswell, and I became a mindfulness trainer because of my own experience with mindfulness. And that was about 13 years ago. I've been practicing mindfulness for the last 13 years. And my initial experience was going on a mindfulness retreat. And it was quite a profound experience. I didn't really know where I was going. I knew I was on a retreat, but I didn't really know what mindfulness was at the time. And although my life looked pretty good at that time, I was working as a TV presenter, producer, I was having certain problems, actually, in the area of the course that I'm teaching, which is compulsive habitual behaviors. And, I had some issues in my life. And going on this mindfulness retreat, what it did for me was it just put me in touch with something that I think I hadn't had experience of since I was a child, which was kind of like the vividness of life. If you like, I saw colours differently. I perceived the world differently, and more intensely and in a more joyful way. Also, it was a very important experience for me because it also gave me a sense of peace and serenity, which had been missing for quite some time. And so I carried on practicing. After that retreat, it took me a few years to get an established mindfulness practice. I would go to retreats quite regularly and then be very keen and practice afterwards, and then it would gradually drop off until I did the next retreat. And then at one point I decided to establish a support group in my home with other people I knew who were interested in meditation, and that helped. And then after a certain amount of time, I was leading meditation during those groups, but I didn't feel totally confident about what I was doing, and I decided actually this is something I want to do because I could see the benefits for myself and others. And also I had a teacher who really stressed the importance of spreading the teachings, the practice of mindfulness. But for me it was very important to have a kind of scientific foundation. And for that, I really needed to train as a mindfulness teacher. So about 5 or 6 years ago, I started to prepare for training, which meant establishing a daily practice, which I've been doing for the last 6 years. And also I returned to university, the University of Exeter, which is one of the top mindfulness teacher training programs, because I really wanted to know, what were the actual mechanisms at play in mindfulness. And I felt that it was important in a way that to be able to explain that to people as well, because I think we live in a culture that requires a sort of, people relate to science, they often need a scientific explanation, otherwise they will just reject things out of hand. And I felt that mindfulness really does have a very good scientific basis. It's research-based, it's evidence-based, and that was quite important to me too, in order to feel confident about teaching. So now I've finished the teacher training part of my MSc, my Science Masters at Exeter. I'm still involved in the research part, and that's in relation to the courses I'm teaching now, which are related to compulsive habits and how mindfulness can be applied to that. So, yeah, that's really about it.